Part 11, negotiating fees. This is another question that I get a lot. The question of how much should I charge for a particular project? How much do I charge to, let's say you do go directly to a music supervisor and they offer you a placement on a primetime network show. How much should you charge? What's the industry norm? And this is another reason why I think it's beneficial and helpful to start your music licensing career by working with publishers, is that you develop reference points. And if you license your music through an established publisher and you start getting some success and experience, you get an idea of what certain industry standards are. And there's really a really wide range of what shows and films and projects will pay to license music. And there's a lot of different variables involved. I can't really give you a specific formula. I don't know that there is one, but in general, for TV shows, for example, licenses pay as little as nothing up front. There's some shows that used to pay $1,000 or $2,000 up front that now pay nothing. And again, this goes back to the supply and demand issue. There's so much music being licensed now. There's so many non-exclusive libraries that sync fees have dropped dramatically. So in some cases, there's no upfront license fee where in the past there was. But with that said, I'm still hearing of things being licensed for as little as $0 up to, in some cases, $7,000 or $8,000 for a primetime network show by an artist who, in general, is probably more established if they're commanding that much money up front. So this also goes back to the idea of artist music versus production music. If you're an artist who does albums and has a unique sound, and you're only licensing music through one or two companies, you're very strategic about how you're getting music to these licensing projects, your music is going to be worth more because it's more valuable, it's more scarce. So if you're a stock music artist who has their music in 30 different music libraries and royalty-free libraries, your music is not worth as much. You're dictating that it's not worth as much simply via who you're working with and what they charge for your music. So those are some things to consider. Again, there isn't really, for most projects, really an industry standard. I think the best way to sort of learn about this is to get some experience through a music publisher or a music licensing agent, someone who has experience in the business, and develop your own reference points. And that way, if and when you do start licensing music directly to projects, you have some experience behind you, and you have some reference points in terms of what you've been paid in the past and what you know your music is worth based on what people have paid you for it previously. Until you have that experience, it's a little hard. You know, you can certainly, in general, I would ask for more than you think you're worth. You know, the worst someone can say is no. But again, in general, I would get some experience under your belt, sign with a couple different publishers, start licensing your music that way, and then a year or two, down the road, you'll have a much better idea of how the business works.